Let's talk about teaching, but not just as a job, right? Let's talk about it as a human story. It's a journey that starts with this powerful sense of calling, then navigates these huge challenges, and in the end, it really all boils down to a choice. We're going to dive into this whole journey, and we'll do it through the eyes of teachers themselves to really get to the heart of what this profession is all about. You know, this quote from Carly Flandro, a former high school English teacher, it just kind of stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? I loved teaching, but not being a teacher. That right there is the paradox we're going to unpack. How can you love the actual work, the students, the light bulb moments, the subject you're passionate about, but at the same time struggle with the reality of being a teacher? So, let's start at the beginning. What pulls someone into this world in the first place? Because for so many, it isn't just picking a career from a list. It feels more like a calling, like a mission they just have to follow. And what's really striking when you look at the reasons, they're almost never about money or, climbing the ladder. It's about serving a community, being a mentor, and this deep belief that they can help build a better future. And a lot of the time, that drive comes directly from their own life. I mean, just listen to Lizette Becerra's story. She felt called to teach in the exact same community where her oldest brother was killed when she was only 7. For her, teaching was a way to go back into that space, a place of trauma, and turn it into a place of hope. It was her way of serving the kids who needed it most. That's just profound. Or take a look at Stephen Spencer. He's a former college football player, and he noticed that a lot of his teammates grew up without strong male role models. So, inspired by his own dad, he saw teaching as his chance to be that person for other kids, to pay it forward. But what happens when this incredible, powerful idealism slams head-on into the day-to-day reality of a classroom? That calling is a powerful thing, for sure. But that first year of teaching, oh man, it is often a complete shock to the system. It's a reckoning, really, where all the theory you learned in college collides with the beautiful, messy, unpredictable chaos of a real school day. And this quote from Donna Earle, a 37-year veteran, just says it all, doesn't it? You can spend 4 years studying pedagogy and educational theory, but absolutely nothing prepares you for that moment when you are standing alone in front of 30 kids for the very first time. Donna Earle's story from her first day is the perfect example. She tried to take her kindergartners on a simple bathroom break. The girls came out, but the boys didn't. She goes in to investigate and finds one boy scrubbing his hands like a surgeon and another building a mountain out of paper towels. So right then and there, she had to improvise her very first "this is a stand-up potty talk." They definitely don't teach you that in college. It's just a little snapshot of the constant think-on-your-feet creativity the job demands. But, the challenges of that first year, they can go so much deeper than just classroom management. For a lot of new teachers, it's actually a massive cultural shock, one that forces them to look at their own blind spots. Jennifer Rich described herself as a cupcake from a rich suburb, and her first job was in Bushwick, Brooklyn. She remembers getting upset with her students for looking down when she spoke to them, only to find out later that in their culture, that was a sign of respect. She said she was just horrified at her own mistake, at her own lack of knowledge. So how did she finally connect with them? Well, she broke the rules. The curriculum was super rigid, but she started secretly shutting her classroom door every day and reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone aloud to them. And it was inside that shared story, something totally off script, that she and her students finally found their common ground. So after all that struggle, all that chaos, why do they stay? Well, the answer is pretty simple: the impact. And honestly, the best way to understand that impact isn't to hear from the teachers, it's to hear from the students. So let's really think about this for a second. Go back in your own memory. Who was that one teacher for you? What was it about them that stuck with you? As you're about to see, it is so often the smallest acts of belief, of just seeing someone, that can completely change a life.